Good morning, everyone. All right, so some data's out, and mhm, just looking at it. Wow, big difference. Previous was zero point 0.2 core inflation rate month over month. Expectation was zero point 0.3, zero point 0.1. Not much difference year over year. All right, well, the market likes it a little bit. It's been a slow grind, and it continues to be today. I mean, this little blip up on the news. And it's coming in, it's not running away. So it looks like we're going to continue to grind toward at least 6,100. And we'll see about 62 and all-time highs day by day. Um, does it violate a prior day's low on a closing basis? So this was the turn. This was a turn. Oh, charts. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do that. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here's the futures on the news, and it was coming out of a consolidation of base. So kind of price action. This looks like bad ticks. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's pulling back to where buyers should want to step up if we're going to continue this grind. And so we'll see where the spiders open up in Qs and so on. And then you know, we want to see them stay above their opening price, ideally. And if they blip under it, it's only momentarily. And you can see on the 65-minute chart, you know, the erratic movement up and down and up and down and you know, all of this slop here. So now we got a decisive wide range 65-minute bar. Prices are pulling back, normal type of pullback, and buyers should step up in here. And we'll see what happens at 6,100. At the Qs, same story, erratic price action. We'll take care of that noise in a second. No difference there. Uh, the Russell, well, the IWM got up to the 200 MA and stalled it. So a little spike here this morning as well. So that should gap up. We'll see if it holds the 200 or if it opens where this opens up. There's still 25 minutes to go. Um, I suspect buyers should want to step in here on this pullback. Otherwise, something's wrong if it goes all the way back down there. Common sense, but this is already retracing more than the others. But the same story. More so on the ETFs. Um, do we stay above a prior day's low, and especially on a closing basis? And until that changes, we'll assume that the grind is going to continue. But now we've got, at least on this intraday time frames, a decisive, explosive type of a bar, and that implies that it should continue to go higher. And so again, we'll see where buyers step up here. This kind of pattern, historical pattern, been forever. You know, momentum move, pull back about halfway, buyers step up, give or take, and push higher. If it doesn't do that, something's wrong. Dow's only up 25 points. All right. Well, there's an initial rejection. I'm not going to read too much in it. We're just starting the day. But this little head and shoulders that was forming never triggered. This reversal day on the 6th, that became an important line in the sand. And so far, it's just been a grind, intraday grind everywhere. So gold's up a little bit. Pattern, it's a nothing pattern. This is already getting rejected, but again, middle of the range, bottom, top, middle, just marking time. Silver giving back a little bit, but leading looks great. We'll see. Again, explosive move, right? I know this is multiple bars, but so when we talk about what price action should do based on historical patterns that are most bullish, there's a wide range bar. That's why we say the bodies stay in the upper half and ideally in the upper third. Sometimes you get little dips, right? But that's bullish price action. There's the next push. And so this is like several days, but it's like one push and this one, didn't pull back at all. So staying up above this area would be bullish. Whereas we see the Dow, right, the same concept. Well, just pulling back a little further. It's about 50%, give or take. And there's the Russell, a little bit more than 50%, but look, we're not into exactness and, like the Fibonacci's with the, point whatever it is, it's, kind of ridiculous. But anyway, oil continues higher. Talked about this bottoming yesterday. I think it was, I explained to you about the void concept, momentum, time correction, and there isn't much to stop it from going up. Right? We got this minor resistance, but I think I even explained about, neutralizing that and so on. So same story. Does it violate a prior day's low? Does it do it on a closing basis? How far does it retrace into a prior day? Factory work. All right. Interest rates are down a little bit. And so this big move last week got everyone's attention. So far, nothing's going on. Dipped on the news, middle of the trading range, nothing happening. So what are the cues here so far? Going to gap above the high of a green bar, right? Positive. Buy the dip into the top of the bar. Maybe it doesn't even get there, continues to go. So you can see pulling back here, typical, type of pullback. And you see my cursor on the 65-minute. And this is so as prices push above resistance, you look for that resistance to hold, on the pullback. You look at that area, if you need to, you put a little line there. You can put an alert. As it comes down there, buyer should step up, give or take. And you see that's beginning to happen here. Transports had a good day. And so these things that were lagging are bringing up the rear. So they look like they'll continue. IWM, right up there against the 200. And so, gapping above that high right on the 200 MA. So what hasn't moved, right? This is moved already a few days. And the little video that I did yesterday was about the Dow, right? And so it isn't doing much of anything. It has the most potential if it's going to do something. It's been going sideways at these pivots. And so this 44,000 area, give or take, right, somewhere in here, if this thing's going to blast off, that's where it should go to. Look to the left. Okay. Well, we were looking at this chart yesterday, or the diamonds. And so we moved that up there. And so taking out that high, we assume it's going to go higher and it shouldn't go down here. Right? Hey, Dodger, what are you doing over there in the social media land? We miss you over in the green room. All right. SPX. Oh, Again, most things are moving up, they're grinding. The ones that are starting to accelerate are the ones you want to be careful. So they're the most obvious that are outperforming. Right? The good thing is it came out of a consolidation, right? But it made its move. I'm not saying it's over. Factory work. Just how far does it penetrate into a prior bar's range? Does it close under the low? So on and so forth. Maybe it continues to accelerate. It's gapping up. What's been going up for a few days and gaps higher is more vulnerable to profit taking, right? Common sense. You can't get in. Log into your member area, Dodger. The password changed, right? So you got to log in when we change that password. You got to log in there and reestablish. Okay. All right. Just have to check these numbers. So look, there you got push up, pull back, right? Starting to make the turn here. Next reference point is up there. And so just gapping above the high, nothing of great significance. This has gotten a little messy, but all right. So this could be hit. I mean, it's pulled back a little bit. I got to look at the numbers again. Anyway, if the market rallies, you definitely want to be over 6,100. Okay. All right. This 6,000 area, there's a lot of open interest there. And so it becomes a critical number to stay above. So this is going to gap up a little bit. And the strike here is 59.75. It's down below. Let me stretch that out. It's down below all of these bars. All right. Can get a little tighter. It should be a no-brainer. So strikes below 6,000, and on the upside rally, if it's possible, above 6,100. Right. All yours, Dan.
Good, man. Yeah, nice pop pre-market, and if we hold right here, got 15 minutes to go. So if we hold this 5-minute buy setup, or maybe if it fails and snaps right back, then we could even look for some things 5-minute high. I had a lot of alarms go off on that pop. We are very heavily bullish. Like I say, at AMSC, remember this American superconductor? Kind of was a competitor with NVIDIA. And I don't know why I haven't been watching it lately. Thing's been on a tear. It's a bearish gap. Let's look for a call spread on that. There's any juice. All right, alarms here. So these are all going to be, or most of them, up alarms. H, we bought yesterday. I had an up alarm go off, I think right up here at 136. So we got to come back and see where it opens. AAL, we shorted the 11.5 puts. My up alarm went off. So this is a great pattern of, I don't think it's going anywhere fast. And so we just sell out of the money puts. I did a 20 lot, so that's $220. Comes in and appears to keep if it stays above 1150 by Friday. Odaffel we got from Alex yesterday. I wasn't crazy about it as a swing, so we shorted the 160 puts. Up alarm went off. We're already at a nice profit. So I'll be tightening the stop in the first 30 minutes. Algin, nice little breakout here yesterday. There's been a lot of these patterns, and actually we posted a few pre-market. Breakouts on the daily, weekly is a buy setup. So they're in alignment. My up alarm went off here. Nike inverse head and shoulder bottoming pattern, and that's today's MT live, by the way, is bottoming patterns. So this is both. It's a inverse head and shoulder bottoming pattern, but nice end of day base. I'm not real crazy about a directional with these two ugly gaps here, but that would be a no-brainer put spread if there was any juice. Here's another bottoming pattern we did. Target yesterday, we shorted puts, bottoming pattern. Thing exploded. We already took half our profits up there. Stop yesterday's low. FedEx, another bottoming pattern. See? So it's a little unusual that markets are threatening all-time highs and we're finding so many bottoming patterns. So that in and of itself is saying, well, these are relatively weak then. And the answer is you're right. They are compared to the broader markets. Look how these things got whacked. This is nowhere near an all-time high. But we don't care whether it's money rotation, whether it's bottom fishers, whatever. We're pattern traders, and all these ones I'm showing you are great patterns. So my up alarm went off there. MGM, we bought this, retest, breakout. Now, I don't call this a bottoming pattern. I call it a consolidation breakout because, bottoming patterns are after extended moves down. But the breakout. So we did both put spread and long stock. Oxy, we were long a couple of these oil stocks. They all did well yesterday. Up alarm. Amzu, the leveraged Amazon. Up alarm went off. We're just in trail mode. Bravo X-ray, another one of these breakouts, buy setup. I posted this to buy over yesterday's high, but gapped up, so we're gonna have to wait for a pullback. Lennar has earnings next week, but another bottoming pattern. It looks great with multiple time frame alignment. Look, this is the first time in this lower low, lower high that it did not make a lower low. So that's in alignment. Monthly is a climb up on major support. So I gave this as a long over yesterday's high. It's gapping over it. And we also shorted, I think, the 103 flips. Somewhere way down here. So that's doing well. TNA, we're long in trail mode in our ETF letter. That's the leveraged IWM. Cuervo, breakout, up alarm went off. Tesla, we have naked, we're short and naked puts. I raised the stop under this 15-minute base. Beautiful, beautiful reversal here. And so we actually shorted naked puts on the intraday CLIMO, and we did it again on Monday. And so that's doing well. And then here's weird. Here's a disaster for the day. And we sold naked puts. I'm sorry, the put spread, the 470, 465. So I don't know why this is gapping down. I have no idea. I didn't check the news. I don't know if it's the whole sector or what. I don't know. It's not going to change the way I manage it. So that just moves up 30-minute low. Give us some time to analyze it. Now let's go to earnings. Sam and I did two of them. Two options earnings trades. We shorted an out of the money put, like 25.5. and we shorted the way out of the money calls, the 41s. That's called a short strangle. And the idea is, it's gonna gap one way or another, but just don't gap beyond our short strikes and we're gonna make money. So this one's bouncing back. So Sam, I don't know about you, but I'm bidding a dime. See if I get filled. I'll keep an eye on it. And here's another one we did. The gap is bigger. I did the 41s way down here. And then I forget the 58s or I don't know, I forget. So I'm bidding 30 cents. We sold them for 90. I'm bidding 30. We'll see what goes on. CXM I posted. Yep, CXM is a go over yesterday's high. Buy setup, pullback, reversal, and minor support. Yep, that came from Sam. Yeah, just look good. Right here at resistance. They probably haven't moved too much because of oil rising, so that obviously is going to be a headwind for it. Back to earnings, SFIX. It's a bullish pattern. And yesterday, the big old bottoming tail suggested higher prices. Now it's gapping up percentage-wise a lot. But I like this multi-year bottoming pattern. Yeah, Mike, that was my guess. Oh, okay, so it's just on F35. That would do it. My first guess was, they're wrangling in the bill, and they might have cut. I think I heard Trump saying he wants $1 trillion in defense budget, which is well, the news has been saying that our debt service is greater than the military expenditure, which is asinine. But yeah, that would do it. Where am I playing? We said that this would have been an awesome, day trade or just pre-earnings run because of this another bottoming pattern. Now it's gapping up too much. No setup there. Chewy is a call spread if there's any juice. Well, I doubt it. 42 is way down here. Still has room to fall. That's a textbook Climo and 180 reversal on the weekly. So it has room to fall. So maybe you'll set up as a day trade. Visco, we're both long stock, trading longer time frames. I like the weekly and monthly. Another bottoming pattern weekly and buy setup. So long stock, and then I said bid a nickel to cover the short 18 puts. We sold them for 30. CGNT. It's a sloppy buy setup. Kind of came in jagged and with different range bars. But it's a buy setup in an uptrend. We'll come back to it. And Jill is getting whacked here. 14 bucks. That's a big ugly gap. But I don't see any pattern. Dollar Tree. A sloppy buy setup. I don't like the way it retraced 80% into this bar. So I think I mentioned that yesterday to you. I don't like it as a daily for that reason. Day trade, there's no pattern here. It's in a downtrend. It needs more work, Thomas. I need a couple more inside bars, maybe a correction bar or two. All right, that's it on earnings. Let's see what else I have here. This is the leveraged ether. Had a nice gap breakout. That could be a very nice 30-minute high. ETHT or just ether itself. ETHE. But very, very nice 15-minute charts. It's a Circle, recent IPO. I was mentioning watching this to sell a call spread because the premiums are insane. Intel had a big old something something bar yesterday. They had this sideways trading range, but that's if you're trading a weekly chart, that's what you do. Reversal and support. Visa, Alex mentioned yesterday. I'll set an alarm 371. It's coming. It's, when markets are up a lot, anything red is relative weakness. So it's actually, it looks like it started positive because this bar is pre-market. So it started positive and pulling in here for some reason. So alarm 371. I don't know why I remember this so well. I was in Charlotte working when Visa came out public, and I just remember it came out public around $75, $80, and then chopped around for a while, and then it rallied up to $125, and I thought it was extended, and now it's 371. And that's an igniting bar yesterday, APTV. Ideally, we get a 1, 2, 3, but it's a bullish 15, so maybe you don't get it. So you can watch 30-minute high, another bottoming pattern, bolting. Yeah, Greg mentioned this in this video yesterday. That's where I got them. UNH is getting very tight. Well, it's been tight. So this is actually a trade setup. You could trade up or down. And so I have alarms up and down that we talked about. GEHC, I think was Sam's list breakout. And it's also coming in for some reason. I'll set an alarm 7440. And yeah, all the markets here on the 5-minute chart. Remember 15 minutes ago, I said, let's see if they hold into the open, and it looks like they're not, which is fine. So we have time. Now, this charter I mentioned yesterday, I like the multiple time frame alignment, daily, weekly, monthly. So let's just keep an eye on it, maybe for a longer term trade. Harg, I like yesterday's high. VIST is sloppy. It could be a put spread idea, but sloppy. Mighty Mo, I like short yesterday's low, particularly that it's up a little bit. Our NXT. I'm getting a lot of alarms here. Greg's Car, CARR. Alarm. So yeah, I get set an alarm 5850, but I like that a lot. Day trade short, Mighty Mo. Car. I don't know. It's too sloppy for me. I like these other ones I posted. Visa alarm. So that popped and hit the 371 and backed off already. I'll just reset it. Oxy low alarm, but I had tightened this, but I know it's not stopped. It's just an early alarm. Check like GME. And they're a little bit spreading. So it's 25 cents. That's the midpoint. And I was bidding a dime. I'm going to change it to 20 cents. I actually was long the spiders, and I sold some. I sold half in that morning pop. Looking to reload, but shoot, in retrospect, you got to make a decision. In retrospect, I should have sold the whole thing. But what if it was a gap and go? Then I'd say, oh, I should have sold half. But I'm happy I sold half at the high. Still profitable in the back half. All right, Sam, I got out of GME um, at 25. I got filled. Let me check this GitLab. Sam, okay. We have an open profit. Um, yeah, it's already posted, Alex. All right, so this one we can kill at a small profit despite this big old nasty gap. So I'm gonna kill it, Sam, just because he didn't fill me. I sent the order at 70. We sold him, I think, for 85, I think. Oh, Doffel up alarm. That was our put, naked put. All right, Sam. So I'm out of GitLab too. $7.40 gain is all. I'll take it. Avoided disaster. This LMT is a disaster. That is ugly. That's a ugly igniting gap breakdown. I don't like that at all. Oh, yeah, I'm top of the range. I prefer 30-minute high with the market coming in. So let's put it in a window. Len up alarm. Len, that was a nice bottoming pattern, all time frames. And XT up alarm hit. I got smacked back down. I'll reset it 60-50. Oxy, let's move the stop here. Wait, freeze. Your shop made a new high, so nice relative strength. BPRT alarm, Alex, but it's early. It's on my laptop, but remember what I told you, Alex? If you were to short it yesterday, I would just kind of just only do a day trade and to be on the lookout for a breakdown failure. HC. SG H. I SGHC is hitting. I forget who gave me this. I actually bought it yesterday, earlier. Yeah, Greg, I moved it yesterday under this pivot already under 226, I think. Let me look.
That's 223.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say I'm wrong. I was just checking. So 225.88. Oh, nice, Don. I didn't know you got filled. I Yeah, I obviously like the pattern. I gave it on Telegram. What's the spread still? Yeah. Alex, what's the one you gave me final warning that I said it was in the letter already? Yes, yeah. Let me look. Yeah, it's in the letter. Yep. Yeah, my alarm did go off. So yeah, it's good to go. Yep. Yeah, remember I said it was, getting to be do or die of me canceling it. Visa again, alarm. Yeah, I kind of like 30-minute high. Just as a market is, it's weird. I mean, we got these hourly uptrends, but I don't know, all 3 days, I just haven't felt aggressive. Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy about it as a directional, but yesterday I said no brainer foot spread. Like that target. SGHC. Yeah, yeah, that's the one I got into yesterday, but yeah, that's good. Bah, low alarm, Sam, are only short. Um, Greg, your shop moving nicely. Um, nice weekly too. Yeah, that's a nice trading range breakout. Looks good. I'll do the 110s for Friday. $5 wine. That's 50 cents. So I'm gonna do that 50 cents and then try to actually I'm gonna send an order out at 55 for shop. Tell you if I get filled. Check next week too. Actually, I'll give by half lot. All right, so
Delta 20 had gave me the heads up on shop, but that was a great setup.
mm-hmm. CLS. It just trades more wildly to me, Thomas. I don't like yesterday's bar, but put spread yesterday's low would be okay. Sam's Ba doing well. Nice control bearish 15-minute there. Still got a nice open profit here, but I'm not liking this pullback. All right, I got filled on the shop. Sell a little more of my U-Pro.
The options were very spready. Yeah, I was
On what?
shop.
Well, I just got filled.
You did a put spread?
Yeah, for Friday, the 110, 105.
Hmm.
55 cents.
They tightened up from before. I looked at them as soon as Delta mentioned it to me in the chat.
Hmm. EX, hold in, and give you a fill. And I wonder, I was just again throwing ideas out. I wonder if we're coming in hard because the reality of this China deal is not as good as they're trying to paint it. So if we do one for next week, it would be way down here at 107. Yeah, lemon juice. I want it to hold right here though, because it's a, we got filled on the half lot on that pullback. That might be, let's spread yesterday.